Hi, good morning my dear students. Myself Kulandaraj, accountancy lecturer, SDC College, Bangarpet. In the last classes, we have seen the problems related with the simple cash book. So simple cash book means what happens there? Only one amount column will be maintained. That is, simple cash book is a type of cash book where we used to maintain single amount column. So where we used to consider only the cash transactions. So moving on to the next concept, that is in the page number 4.8, you can see that in the 4.8 whatever the book is there, no, in that you can see that 4.8, in that they are given double column cash book or two column cash book or cash book with cash and bank columns. So my dear students, first book is simple cash book, already we have completed. Second type of cash book is double column cash book or two column cash book or cash book with cash and bank column. So double column cash book is a type of cash book. Here we used to maintain two amount columns, that is separate for cash as well as bank. So you can compare simple cash book as it is problem, but one more column will be extra, that is called as which here? Bank column. So in the simple cash book only cash transaction, here few bank transactions also will be considered. So double column cash book which contains separate cash and bank column is called as which cash book here? Two column cash book. It is also called as bank column cash book or double column cash book or cash book with cash and bank columns. So my dear students, double column cash book is a type of cash book where we used to maintain separate amount columns for the cash and bank columns. It is also called as bank column cash book or cash book with cash and bank columns or double column cash book. So this is the meaning of which thing? Double column cash book. Remember, as it is simple cash book, one more column will be extra, that is amount column. What is that amount column? Means it is nothing but the bank amount column. So as it is date, in the debit a date, particulars, again ledger folio, we will be getting what? Cash column 1, amount column. Again date, particulars under the credit, date, particulars, again ledger folio, cash and bank column. Now moving on to the contra entries. Here there will be treated as contra entries. One type of entries will be there, that is nothing but contra entries. Contra entries are the entries that are recorded on both the sides of the cash book for a single transaction that affects both cash and bank balances. My dear students, contra entries is nothing but a single transaction will be reflecting in both the sides, that is in the cash column also, in the cash as well as in the bank balance. So contra entries are the entries that are recorded on both the sides of the cash book for single transaction that affects both cash and bank balances. So a single transaction that is recorded under both the sides, debit aspect as well as the credit aspect, both the cash and bank balances will affect through this contra entries. Contra entries are the entries that are recorded on both the sides of the cash book. So it is a single transaction that affects both cash and bank balances. Few of the following are the transactions require contra entries, requiring contra entries. Which are that contra entries we can see? Means when a bank account is opened, when a bank account is opened means what happens? It has two effects. I can say that when a bank account is opened, our cash balance reduces. It should be shown under which side? Credit side. At the same time, our bank balance increases. Can you understand? No? When a bank account is opened, what happens? In a bank account is opened means we are paying to the bank. We are depositing into the bank. You can see when the bank account is opened, our cash balance reduces. Automatically, what balance increases? Our bank balance increases. Whenever cash, check, draft or postal order is paid, deposited into bank. Whenever we are paying cash, check, draft or postal order is paid, deposited into bank means what happens? Automatically when we pay cash into the bank or deposit cash into the bank, our cash balance reduces, our bank balance increases. C is cash withdrawn from bank for office use. When we withdraw for office use, what happens? Our cash balance, that is our bank balance reduces, our cash balance increases. You can see a cash withdrawn from bank. When we withdraw from the bank, our bank balances decreases, automatically our cash balance increases. So remember always here, whenever double column cash book is given, means double column cash book is a type of cash book which contains separate cash and bank column. It is also called as bank column cash book, or it is also called as cash book with cash and bank columns, or 2-column cash book. Again, moving to the contra entries. What is contra entries means? Contra entries are the entries that are recorded on both the sides of the cash book for single transaction that affects both cash and bank balances. Following are the transactions requiring contra entry. Which are the transaction means? When a bank account is opened, whenever cash, check, draft or postal order is paid or deposited into bank, cash withdrawn from bank for office use. So these are the examples of the contra entries. But don't forget here, contra entries means which affects both the sides of the cash book. It affects the cash column, cash balance as well as the bank balance. When a bank account is opened, what happens? Normally the cash decreases, bank balance increases. When a cash or check, draft or postal order is paid or deposited into bank means what happens? Cash balance reduces, bank balance increases. Cash withdrawn from bank for office use means what happens? So here the bank balance decreases, the cash balance increases. So now we can move for the format of the 2-column cash book. In the format of 2-column cash book, debit side as well as the credit side, you can see here date, particulars, receipt number, ledger folio, cash, bank, rupees. Date, particulars, voucher number, ledger folio, cash, bank, rupees. See here, same as it is simple cash book, we can notice here, but one more column is extra, that is bank on both the sides. So the format is very simple. Date, particulars, debit side as it is similar to simple cash book. One column is extra, that is rupee column, that is bank column. Date, particulars, receipt number, ledger folio, cash, bank. Again date, particulars, voucher number, ledger folio, cash, bank. So now coming to the first problem, my dear students. First problem, my dear students, here clearly listen here. In a double column cash book, as it is in the simple cash book, I said one thing. So cash is an asset. Cash is an asset means what happens? Debit increases, credit decreases. Whenever cash here, whenever the cash or bank balance increases, that should be taken under which side? Debit side. Whenever the cash or bank balance decreases means that should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. So cash is an asset. So as per the asset rule, what happens? Debit increases. Whenever the cash and bank balance increases, that should be recorded under the debit side. Whenever the cash balance as well as the bank balance decreases, that should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. Now see first problem. Under the double column cash book, that is under page 4.8, you can notice that PU board questions has been given part A. Under that first question, enter the following transactions in double column cash book of Messrs. Naveen Trades for March 2017. For March 2017, we need to prepare which column cash book here? Double column cash book. My dear students, don't be confused here. Double column means one more column is extra here. One transaction, that is contra entries will be coming. There is no, that is simple cash book as it is. We can record the simple cash book transactions here. Whatever we have followed the rules for simple cash book, no, the similar solution we can follow here. Month is given, date is given, particulars rupees is given. See here, March 1st, take down a pencil and you can mark it. March 1st is given bank balance 14,400. March 1st cash balance 17,000 is given. So both the things are opening balance, that should be taken under the debit side, my dear students. Here in that solution for our problem, in the first problem in the page number 4.9, the solution there is a small printing error has been happened. So ignore that problem, we can consider now because the debit side entries has been given in the credit side, credit as well as given in the debit side. So don't go for that first solution, whatever now we are discussing, that thing should be followed here. A printing error has been happened in the first problem solution. Don't see the first problem solution. Listen here now. March 1st bank balance how much is given? 14,400. Again March 1st cash balance 17,000 is given. So this both the balances or the opening balance that should be taken under the debit side of the double column cash book. Why means it is a cash balance. Again March 3rd purchased furniture by check rupees 12,000 is there. So on what basis we are purchasing here? On the basis of check. That means the bank balance decreases. Bank balance decreases. Which side we need to take it? It should be taken under the credit side. On March 8, sold goods for cash 13,000. Our cash balance increases while the sales we are making. When the cash balance increases, it should be taken under which side? Debit side. March 12th, purchased goods for cash rupees 5,000. When we purchase goods for cash means what happens? Our cash balance reduces, so it should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. See here, March 15, check received from Rahul, deposited same day. We are receiving the check, so we are depositing on the same day itself. So it should be treated as we are receiving means what happens? Our bank balance increases because our check we are receiving, bank balance increases, so that should be debited. How much? 9,500. March 20th, cash withdrew from bank rupees 2,500. So how much cash we are withdraw from bank? This transaction, whatever is highlighted, no, this 2,500. March 20th, this transaction will be treated as a contra entry. What is contra entry? Contra entry is an entry which affects both the sides of the double column cash book, a single transaction only. See here, March 20th, cash withdraw from bank rupees 2,500. We should think here the cash has been withdrawn from bank for office use. What is that? Cash withdrawn from bank for office use we should consider. Cash withdrawn means what happens? One side our cash balance decreases. Which side cash balance decreases? Credit side. Again what happens under the debit side? What is increasing? That is bank balance decreases actually. Yes, bank balance decreases. It should be shown under which side? Credit side. And again what balance increases here? Cash balance increases. So that should be shown under the debit side. My dear students, don't be confused here. March 20th, cash withdraw from bank rupees 2,500 is there. So this cash withdraw from bank you should consider as withdrawn for the use of office. So what happens here? Cash withdraw from bank. What happens here? Bank balance reduces. At the same time, what balance increases? Cash balance increases. So in the credit side we used to record what? The bank balance decreases. Under the bank column we will be recording the amount. Again under the cash column we will be recording the amount because the cash balance increases under the debit side. March 25th, paid salary rupees 3,400 is there. Whenever we pay salary, what happens? Our cash balance reduces, so it should be taken under the credit side. March 31st, rent paid by check rupees 2,600 is there. So rent paid by what? Check. Here bank balance reduces. This should be shown under which side? Credit side. My dear students, don't be confused here. A printing error has been happened in the book in the page number 4.9. So you can consider this solution now. So solution, debit side, double column cash book, credit. Date, particulars, ledger folio, receipt number as well as voucher number we can ignore here. Date, particulars, ledger folio, cash, bank. See here, cash rupees, bank rupees, date, particulars, ledger folio, cash, bank. So now we need to go for the first transaction. As it is in the double column cash book, I will say one rules. So cash is an asset. Asset means what happens? Debit increases, credit decreases. Here whenever the cash and bank balance increases, it should be taken under which side? Debit side. Whenever the cash and bank balance decreases, it should be shown under which side? Credit side. Now move on to the question. We can see one by one. So what is the first thing given? March 1st bank balance 14,400. March 1st cash balance 17,000. Here you can notice that two balance on 1st March 2017, two balance brought down. Bank balance how much we have taken? 14,400. Cash balance how much we have considered? 17,000, my dear students. Moving on to the next point here. March 3rd purchased furniture by check 12,000. Here check is given. So purchased furniture. When we purchase furniture, what happens? Our bank balance here reduces. So it should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. You can see here on March 3rd 2017 buy furniture. They are given the check payment, so bank balance reduces. How much it has been reduced? 12,000. Moving on to the next point, my dear students, here see here March 8th sold goods for cash rupees 13,000. When we sold the goods, when we sell the goods for cash means what happens? Our cash balance whether increases or decreases? It increases. So it should be taken under which side? Debit side. Under which column? Under cash column, because sold goods for cash is given. Amount how much is given? 13,000. Moving on to that point, on 8/3/2017 two sales account, how much is the amount here? 13,000. So it is reduced. Bank balance is nil here. That is why it is nil, means they have sold for which basis? Cash basis. Our cash is increasing, so it is recorded under the debit side. Moving on to the next point, my dear students, here see here March 12th purchased goods for cash rupees 5,000. Now can you say me that what balance is decreasing here? Cash balance is decreasing. So which side will be recording purchased goods means under the credit side. So you can clearly see here under the credit side, that is 12/3/2017 by purchases of whether the way of check or in the way of cash. In the cash we are purchasing 5,000, balance decreases, my dear students. Again see here March 15th is given. What is March 15th point is given? Check received from Rahul, deposited same day. So we are receiving the check and we are depositing on the same day. How much is the amount is there here? 9,500. So this check received is there, no? So what happens when we receive the check? Our bank balance increases. So it should be taken under which side? Debit side. So automatically what happens? Debit side to Rahul's account. From which person we are receiving? To Rahul. That is Rahul we are receiving to Rahul's account. How much is the check? We are receiving 9,500. So this 9,500 increases, my dear students. And moving on to the next thing. March 20th, cash withdraw from bank for office use. We need to consider as office use. How much is the amount here? 2,500. When the cash has been withdrawn from bank for office use means what balance reduces automatically here? Bank balance reduces, cash balance increases. So that point I have highlighted here. See here 23/2017. What balance decreases? 2,500. So write it as here by cash. Account, that is contra entry. C has been represented. See here, listen here carefully. What balance is decreasing? Bank balance. The opposite of the bank is nothing but here cash, by cash account, that is contra entry. So in the bank balance decreases. What is decreasing here? Cash is decreasing. At the same time, debit side, what is increasing? Our cash balance increasing 2,500. Where we are getting that cash? From the bank. So to bank account contra entry 2,500. 23/2017. The same single transaction, that is cash withdraw for office use is given. So what happens? Bank balance reduces on the same day 23/2017. What is reducing here? Bank balance reduces 2,500. What we are taking? The cash. So and again what happens here? What balance is increasing here? Cash balance is increasing. From where we are getting that cash means from the bank. On which date? On 20th/3/2017, my dear students. Moving on to the next point, that is of March 25th, paid salary rupees 3,400 is given. Paid salary means what happens here? Our cash balance reduces. So we have considered 25/5/3/2017 by salary account 3,400. So our salary balance, that is our cash balance, reduces here. March 31st, rent paid by check rupees 2,600. We are paying the rent by what? By the way of check. That means our bank balance reduces. How much it reduces? 2,600, my dear students. Here you can see by rent account, that is bank balance reduces, by the check we are paying 2,600, my dear students. Now you may be understood how we have taken in the double column cash book. It is very easy. Debit side, when the cash or bank balance increases, it should be taken under the debit side. In the credit side, whenever the cash or bank balance decreases, it should be shown under the credit side. My dear students, in the book a small printing error has been happened, so don't be confused here. So refer this, write the problem while passing it and you can write it. So total it on both the sides, debit side as well as credit side. Leave one line space here. Don't consider balance carried on now itself. Leave one line space and total it on both the sides. So in the debit side total you will be getting, how much you will be getting means, that is debit side total is more 32,500, bank column 23,900. Same total on the credit side also, 32,500, 23,900. From this 32,500 minus 5,000 minus 3,400, you will be getting how much? 24,100 as the closing cash balance, that is treated as by balance carried down. Again in the 23,900 you minus 12,000 minus 2,500 minus 2,600, you will be getting 6,800. This will be considered as the closing balance on which date? 31st of March 2017. On next day, that is on next opening day 1/4/2017, two balance brought down. How much is the balance? We have 24,100 and 6,800, my dear students. Pause this problem and you can write it. we can make the solution. So double column cash book means don't be confused. Cash is an asset. So what happens? Whenever the cash and bank balance increases, that should be taken under the debit side. Whenever the cash and bank balance decreases, that should be taken under the credit side. Once again, I will explain, students. See here. March 1st bank balance, how much we have? 14,400. We have considered a by balance brought down 14,400 on March 1st 2017. By balance brought down 14,400. What is the next point they given? On March 1st cash balance 17,000. Same balance brought down itself. What happens here? To balance brought down 17,000 in the cash column we have recorded. Again see here, March 3rd purchased furniture by check 12,000, check payment. So when we purchase furniture, what happens? Our bank balance decreases, so it should be taken under which side? Credit side. On 3rd March 2017 buy furniture 12,000 we have considered. Next, can you see here? On March 8, sold goods for cash, how much is there? 13,000 is there. Sold goods for cash means our cash balance, what happens? Increases. So 8/3/2017 to sales account 13,000 because our cash balance increases. And again, next point, what is given here? See here. On March 12th, purchased goods for cash rupees 5,000. When we purchase goods for cash means what happens? Our cash balance reduces. So automatically what happens here? We should consider by purchases on 12/3/2017, how much it decreases? 5,000. Again, next point, what is given here? See here, March 15, check received from Rahul, deposited same day. We are receiving the check amount of rupees 9,500 and depositing on the same day. So what happens on 15/3/2017 to Rahul account directly in the bank column? 9,500. So next thing, what is given here? March 20th, cash withdraw from bank rupees 2,500. Whenever we withdraw the cash from bank for obvious use means it will be treated as what? The contra entry. That means it affects both the sides of the double column cash book. You can see on 20th/3/2017 by cash account contra entry. Which balance is reducing here? Bank balance, right? The opposite terms here. The amount which is decreasing here, bank balance reduces. What we are taking? Cash. So again here what happens on 20th/3/2017? What is increasing? Cash balance is increasing. Where we are getting from the cash? The bank. To bank account. So this is treated as which entry here? Contra entry, my dear students. Again March 25th, the paid salary 3,400 is there. So paid salary means what happens? Our cash balance reduces. So how much? 25/3/2017 by salary account 3,400, my dear students. Again March 31st, rent paid by check rupees 2,600. So rent paid by check 2,600 means what happens? Rent has been paid through what? Check. So what happens? Automatically what balance reduces? Our bank balance reduces because we are paying through the check. 31st March 2017 by rent account bank balance reduces. Through check we are paying 2,600. So totally on both the sides. Debit side total is more. So debit side what happens? Under the cash column 32,500. Bank column 23,900. The same total you make it on credit side also. 32,500. Credit side 23,900. 32,500 minus 5,000 minus 3,400 will be getting the closing balance of 24,100. Again under the bank column 23,900 minus 12,000 minus 2,500 minus 2,600 will be getting 6,800. So this opening balance will be on 31st March 2017 balance carried down. Next month on 1/4/2017 it will be the opening month, opening balance for the next month, that is the opening balance to balance brought down 24,100 and 6,800. My dear students, don't be confused. Whenever the cash and bank balance increases, it should be recorded under the debit side. Whenever the cash and bank balance decreases, that should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. Now we can move on to the second problem. Problem number 2. Prepare a double column cash book with the help of following transaction for December 2016 is given. Month, date, particulars, rupees is given. Take down a pencil and you can mark it. December 1st cash in and 22,500. December 1st cash in bank 10,000. Can you say me where these entries can be appeared? So it will appear under the debit side because the opening balance on the opening day. So December 2nd purchased goods for cash. What balance reduces now? Cash balance reduces. So which side it should be taken? It should be taken under the credit side as by purchases. December 5th paid insurance by check 2,000. When we are paying the insurance means what happens? Automatically our bank balance reduces because we are paying through check. Our bank balance reduces, so it should be taken under the credit side. December 9th, you can see a deposited into bank 5,000. This is an contra entry. Deposited into bank means what happens? Our cash balance reduces on the credit side. Again, what balance increases? Our bank balance increases on the debit side. That is here, deposited in bank is there. So what we need to deposit in the bank? We need to deposit the cash into the bank. So automatically what balance reduces there? Cash balance reduces. And again, what balance increases? Again, the bank balance increases under the debit side. Credit side cash balance decreases, debit side bank balance increases. December 13th, cash received for sale of goods, rupees 12,000. So cash has been received for what? Sale of goods. So automatically what happens? Our cash balance increases. So it should be taken under which side? Debit side. December 18th. Clearly listen, my dear friends, here. On December 18th, the received check from Joseph 3,000 is there. See, in the last problem we have received the check, but it has been deposited in the same day. But here we are receiving the check, but we are not depositing the amount of rupees 3,000 on the same day. So it should be treated as cash itself. When we are receiving the check, listen here, my dear students, on December 18th, when we are receiving the check, we are not depositing on the same day, means it should be treated as cash itself. So how much cash we are receiving? 3,000, because on the deposited day only we need to show that the bank balance increases. So here now, till now we have not yet deposited, so we can treat it this as an cash balance itself. December 24th, Joseph check deposited into bank. See here, on 18th we are receiving the check, on 24th we are depositing that check into the bank. So this 18th transaction should be treated as cash itself. Why means we are not depositing the check on the same day. On 24th we are depositing into bank. So what happens? This is a contra entry. Why means we are considered here as in cash. So cash balance what happens? Decreases. So it should be contra entry. Joseph check deposited into bank. So what balance decreases here? Cash balance decreases as well as bank balance increases. On December 30th, withdraw cash for personal use. How much is there? 1,000. So withdraw cash for personal use. In the last problem, office use. Here personal use means drawing. So it should be taken under which side? Under the credit side, my dear students. Moving on to the solution, double column, cash book, debit, credit, date, particulars, ledger, folio, cash, bank. Date, particulars, ledger, folio, cash, bank. Now we can move one by one. See here, December 1st, cash in hand 22,500. December 1st, cash in bank 10,000. So that will be treated as what? Opening cash balance. So on 1/12/2016, that is December 1st, 2016, two balance brought down 22,500 as well as 10,000, my dear students. Again, moving on to the second point. What is the second point given here? December 2nd, purchased goods for cash rupees 4,000 is there. So purchased goods for cash means what happens? Our cash balance reduces when we purchase the goods. So it should be taken under which side? Credit side. So listen here, my dear students. On 2nd December 2016, by purchases, how much cash balance it has been reduced? 4,000. And again, moving to the next point. On December 5th, paid insurance by check rupees 2,000. When we are paying the insurance, what happens? Here it is paid through check. So what happens? Our bank balance reduces. So it should be shown under which side? Under the credit side. So on 5/12/2016, by insurance, what balance reduces here? Bank balance reduces 2,000. And again, moving on to the next thing. See here, on December 9th, deposited in bank rupees 5,000. When we deposit cash into the bank, our cash balance reduces. Again, what happens to the bank balance? The bank balance increases. So this type of transaction is called as contra entry. Contra entry means which affects both the sides of the double column cash book. Now you can see deposited into bank. What we are depositing? We are depositing the cash. How much? 5,000. To where we are depositing? To the bank. By bank account 9/12/2016, by bank account. Why means contra entry? Because our cash balance reduces. At the same time, 9/12/2016, what is increasing here? Our cash balance is increasing. That is, our bank balance is increasing 5,000. Through what? Through the cash, our bank balance is increasing how much? 5,000. So listen here, on 9/12/2016, we are depositing the amount into the bank. When we deposit, what is decreasing? Cash is decreasing. Where it is moving? To the bank. So this is a contra entry. So again, what balance increases? Bank balance increases. So through what way? Through the cash on 9/12/2016, my dear students. Moving on to the next point. See here, on December 13th, cash received for sale of goods rupees 12,000. We are receiving the cash through what? Sale of goods. So what increases? Our cash balance increases on which date? On December 13th. Can you find here? On December 13th to sales account 12,000. Our cash balance is increased. Next points here I said, listen here carefully once again. December 18th received check from Joseph 3,000 is given. Whether we are depositing the check on the same day? No. So whenever we are not depositing the check on the same day means it should be treated as cash itself. So our cash balance increases. Under which side we need to show? Under the debit side. Listen here. See here 8/12/2016 to Joseph account. How much is the cash balance increases? 3,000. Why we are taking as cash means because it was not yet deposited on the same day, my dear students. Again moving on to the next thing. December 24th, what happens here? Joseph check deposited into bank. How much is the amount is not given. We can consider which check itself. This 3,000 because on 18th we are receiving check from Joseph rupees 3,000. That same check has been deposited into bank. How much is the amount we need to consider here? 3,000. So 3,000 we are depositing into bank. So we have considered already cash here. Why means it has not deposited on the same day. To Joseph account 3,000 we are considered cash. Now the contra entry appears 24/12/2016 by bank account. Contra entry, what is decreasing here? Cash is decreasing here. Automatically what increases? Our bank balance increases. 24/12/2016 to cash account, it is a contra entry. So what is increasing here? Our bank balance increases. So automatically the Joseph has paid on the first day itself, it has been deposited means directly we can take it in the bank column. If not the same amount has been considered as cash. If check has been given by Joseph and it has been deposited on the same day means we can consider in the bank column. If it is not like that means we can consider under which column? Under the cash column. And again on the depositing date we need to show as an contra entry. So on 24/12/2016 contra entry, so cash balance reduces 3,000. At the same time 24/12/2016 to cash account 3,000 it increases. Moving on to the next point. December 30th, withdraw cash for personal use rupees 1,000 is given. Whenever we withdraw cash for personal use means that will be treated as on drawings. Amount withdrawn for personal use or money's worth withdrawn for the personal use, private use, domestic use, own use will be treated as drawings. 1,000 rupees is there, that we should consider as 30th December 2016 by drawings. Cash we are withdrawing 1,000. So now the problem has been completed. Total it on both the sides. Leave one line space and total it on both the sides. So you will be getting the debit side total is more. That is 37,500 and 18,000. Both cash and bank balance debit side is more. How much? 37,500 and 18,000. The same total to the credit side also. The similar line it should be there. 37,500 and 18,000. Cash balance how much is there? 37,500. Bank balance 18,000. Now what you need to do? 37,500 is the highest total on both the sides. Now 37,500 minus 4,000 minus 5,000 minus 3,000 minus 1,000, you will be getting 24,500. This 24,500 will be treated as the closing cash balance. Bank balance how much we have? 18,000. In this 18,000 minus 2,000 it will be considered as how much here? 16,000. So this 24,500 is the cash balance, closing cash balance. 16,000 is the closing bank balance. On which date? On the last day, that is on 31st December 2016. By balance carried on, how much we got? 24,500, 16,000, that is carried on. Next day, on next month it will be opened up. On 1/1/2017 to balance brought down, how much we have? 24,500 is the cash balance, 16,000 is the bank balance, my dear students. So this is your second problem solution, my dear students. You can pause the video and you can write it, my dear students. Moving on to the third question, my dear students. See here. Third question. Record the following transactions in a double column cash book for January 2017 and balance the same. So Jan 2017 we need to prepare which book? Double column cash book. Double column cash book means you know that we will be maintaining two amount columns. One is for cash, the other one is for the bank. Either on debit debit side as well as under the credit side. Now you can see month, date, particulars, rupees is given. I will analyze it. So here 3 various contra entries are there. So I will analyze the problem. You need to mark the problem first and we can do the solution here. Jan 1st, commenced business with cash 1 lakh is given. So this is a new problem, new adjustment. Commenced business with cash means he is bringing the capital into the business. So that is, he is bringing the cash. So that is nothing but in the way of capital he is bringing. So that should be taken under which side? Under the debit side. Jan 3rd, opened a current account with SBI rupees 50,000. Opened a current account with SBI. This will be treated as contra entry on Jan 3rd. Opened a current account with SBI rupees 50,000. What happens here? Our cash balance reduces under the credit side. Our bank balance increases under the debit side. How means when we are opening a current account, when we open a current account means what happens? We need to pay the cash. How much we are paying? 50,000. When we pay 50,000, what happens? Our cash balance reducing under which side? Credit side. At the same time, what happens? What balance is increasing? Our bank balance increases. That should be taken under which side? Debit side. On Jan 5th, purchased goods for cash rupees 10,000. When we purchase goods for cash means what happens? Automatically it should be shown under which side? Under the credit side, because we are purchasing the goods for cash. What balance decreases? Our cash balance decreases. On Jan 10th, purchased machinery by check rupees 15,000. When we purchase machinery by check means what happens? Our bank balance reduces. So it should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. Again Jan 15th, cash deposited into bank rupees 4,000. There is also an contra entry. Cash deposited into bank means what happens? Automatically here our cash balance decreases, our bank balance increases. Contra entry Jan 15, cash deposited into bank. When we deposit into the bank, what happens? Our cash balance reduces. That should be taken under credit side. At the same time our bank balance increases. That should be taken under the debit side. Jan 18, sold goods for cash rupees 6,000. When we sell the goods for cash means what happens? So automatically our cash balance increases. So it should be taken under the debit side. Jan 22nd, paid cartage by check rupees 2,000. When we pay the cartage through bank, that is through check means what happens? Our bank balance reduces. So it should be taken under the credit side. Jan 31st, withdraw from bank for office use rupees 3,000. We are withdrawing the cash from where? From the bank. So when we are withdrawing, what happens? Our bank balance reduces. Automatically what balance increases? Our cash balance increases, amount of rupees 3,000. When our bank balance decreases, it should be shown under which side? Debit, credit side. When the bank balance, when the cash balance increases, it should be shown under the debit side. My dear students, now we can move for the third solution here. See here solution, double column cash book, debit, credit, date, particulars, ledger folio, cash, bank. Date, particulars, ledger folio, cash, bank. Now you can move to the problem, my dear students. I will explain one by one again. Jan 1st, commence business with cash rupees 1 lakh is given. So that is cash balance increases. On what way it is getting? In the capital. On 1/1/2017 to capital account 1 lakh. Bank balance is nil now. See the second point what is given here. On Jan 3rd, opened a current account with the SBI 50,000. When we open a current account in the SBI, what happens? Automatically our cash balance reduces. At the same time what increases? Our bank balance increases. On 3/1/2017, what is decreasing? Our cash is decreasing. Where it is moving? To the bank. By bank account contra entry 50,000. Why means our cash balance reduces. Again the contrast here, what is increasing? Debit side, bank balance increases 50,000. So to cash account contra entry 3/1/2017. So contra entry means which affects both the sides of the double column cash book. When we open a current account in the SBI bank means our cash balance reduces. Where it is moving? To the bank account. Opposite, right? The opposite term. Cash opposite term is bank. Contra entry. Here what happens? What balance is increasing? Bank balance is increasing. Opposite is what? To cash account. So again moving on to the next point. Jan 5th, purchased goods for cash rupees 10,000. When we purchase goods for cash means what happens? Our cash balance reduces. On 5th of Jan 2017, by purchases 10,000 because our cash balance reduces. Again moving on to the next point. Jan 10th, purchased machinery by check rupees 15,000. Purchased machinery by check, our bank balance reduces. So again in the credit side. On 10th Jan 2017, 2017 by machinery account 15,000 has been reduced. Again, next date what is given here, Jan 15th, cash deposited into bank rupees 4,000. Cash deposited into bank means what happens? Our cash balance reduces, our bank balance increases. On which date? On 15/1/2017 by bank account. What balance is reducing here? Cash balance is reducing. It is a contra entry. Again, what happens on 15/1/2017? Our bank balance increases. Write it as to cash account, contra entry. So here what in decreases? Cash decreases. We should write it as by bank account. Again, here what is increasing? Bank balance is increasing 4,000. So write it as to cash account, opposite terms. So again, moving on to the next point. On Jan 18th, sold goods for cash rupees 6,000 is given. Sold goods for cash means what happens? Our cash balance increases. So our cash balance increases means it should be taken under which side? Under the debit side. 18/1/2017 to sales account. How much it increases? 6,000. So 6,000 should be considered here. Next point what is given? Jan 22nd, paid cartage by check rupees 2,000. When we pay the cartage, what happens? Our bank balance reduces. Through check we are paying, so our bank balance reduces. So it should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. By 22nd/1/2017 by cartage account 2,000. What balance is reducing here? Bank balance is reducing. Moving on to the next point. Jan 31st, withdraw from bank for office use rupees 3,000 is given. So withdraw from bank, for what use we are withdrawing? For the office use. So what happens? Bank balance decreases, at the simultaneously cash balance will be increasing. So you can see that is also a contra entry on 31st Jan 2017 by cash account. So bank balance is decreasing how much? 3,000. Again what happens here? Cash balance increases 3,000. That is a contra entry to bank account 31st of Jan 2017. The opposite term. So here cash balance increases 3,000. What is the opposite for cash? That is the bank to bank account contra entry. On 31st Jan 2017 here what is decreasing means bank balance decreases by cash account. So totally now that's it, the problem has been entered. So now total it on both the sides, check the total which side is more. So you can find out the debit side total is more for both cash and bank column, 1,09,000 and 54,000. The same total to the credit side also, 1,09,000 as well as 54,000. In this 1,09,000 minus 50,000 minus 10,000 minus 4,000 you will be getting remaining balance 45,000 cash balance. In this 54,000 minus 15,000 minus 2,000 minus 3,000 you will be getting 34,000. This will be treated as closing cash and bank balance. It should be written on last date 31st Jan 2017 of that month by balance carried on, closing balance. Again the next month it will be brought down on 1st Feb 2017 to balance brought down 45,000 and 34,000 my dear students. You can pause the video and you can write it my dear students. Now listen, once again I will be saying as it is procedure for simple cash book whatever we have in the double column cash book also. Whenever the cash and bank balance increases it should be taken under the debit side. Whenever the cash and bank balance decreases that should be recorded on the credit side. So one more point is there, contra entry. What is that contra entry means? Which affects on both the sides of the double column cash book my dear students. So in this contra entries, if deposited into the bank, opened a account in the bank means what happens? Our cash balance reduces, our bank balance increases. Cash withdrawn for office use means what happens? Our bank balance decreases, automatically our cash balance increases my dear students. That's it for the day. So the next class we can move on for the fourth problem my dear students. Until it's bye from Mr. Kulandaraj, Accountancy Lecturer, SDC College, Bangarpet. Thank you my dear students.